Bizarre Brain Comics. Oh, hello my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, we're going to take a look here at Superboy, number 172. That's volume 1 of the Superboy from 1971 in DC Comics. It's a 15 center. And this is early in the Bronze Age of comics. And here we have the world of the Super Ape. You've beaten my brother, Superboy. Now try me. Oh, and this is a great Neal Adams cover, kind of giving you hints while making it, still keeping it somewhat mysterious. You can see the simian hands, even though they're actually designed like human hands. A lot of the artists would give apes human-like hands, forgetting that gorillas, chimps, orangutans' hands are considerably different than human hands. But that's neither here nor there. And then the shocked expression on Superboy himself. And he's surrounded by apes and knows that he has laid low. Oh, okay. And this is a story that is written by Frank Robbins, with pencils by Bob Brown and inks by the great Murphy Anderson. Okay, and Frank Robbins, our writer, is, of course, I mentioned him many times. He's a cartoonist and writer in his own right. For like 30 years, he did the Johnny Hazard comic strip. And while he was doing that, he was both writing and drawing comics at various times for both Marvel and DC. Because he did some stuff for, I think it was Detective and The Shadow at DC, Man from Atlantis and the Invaders at Marvel, and various other things during that time. And it was in both capacities as artist and writer. And then has a backup story featuring the Legion of Superheroes. This is a new backup feature in Superboy. I guess Legion had just recently been in Action Comics, and as a backup there, and then they moved over here to Superboy. And this does not include Superboy in the Legion in these stories, at least not this one. It might otherwise. And this was written by E. Nelson Bridwell, with art by George Tuska. And of course, George Tuska is probably best remembered for his time on Iron Man at Marvel, and he also was artist on the World's Greatest Superheroes comic strip, which was just featured the Justice League, which I've talked about before here. Shall we have a look inside the pages? Okay, here's Superboy. Well, we're starting off with what, Superboy's origin again, just sorta. But you see Krypton exploding, but we see another rocket leaving the planet, the exploding planet, and coming to Earth, while one crashes outside of Smallville. At this time, you never really knew where Smallville was. You got the impression it was probably upstate New York. This is before the movie established it as in Kansas. But another rocket also lands in a mountainous area in Africa. You can see the nice monkeys, and while baby Kal-El is found by the Kents, the occupant of that other rocket is found by some gorillas. because this was gorilla country in Kenya, which I don't really think they have much of the way of gorillas in Kenya. They might, I can't remember now, but you usually think of farther west I'm suddenly drawing blanks on other than the Congo, other areas, other countries. Like, never mind. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so then we shift 15 years later, and here are some poachers who have slaughtered an elephant for its tusks. And they've gone... They're fight. Something is attacking them, and they're shooting away. And then we see an investigation begins for the wardens, who are supposed to hunt down the poachers and help keep animals safe. And they find that, well, obviously an elephant was killed here, but the corpse is completely gone, and so are the hunters. And don't know what to make of it. They call. This is beyond their ken. They call on the assistance of Superboy. He zooms down and he says, and short distance later, there's poachers, and they have shot a gorilla, shot and killed a gorilla. So they're out to capture some gorillas for sale to zoos and stuff, but they do it in a very underhanded way. Killing one, and then when others come to be concerned to check on them, it's basically a trap. Then they capture the others. When actually what they would usually do is kill a mother and steal her baby. But here, while they're setting up nets and stuff, suddenly, up, they're trapped in the nets. And what's this huge hand? Shadow of the hand in there. So the Superboy is called back, and he says, I've got an idea. And he takes off, gets a realistic ape, actually a gorilla skin from a taxidermist, while they haul off the corpse of the actual gorilla. And he lays there, pretending to be injured. The other gorillas come and carry him off to take care of him, but into a hidden cave. And it goes, oh my gosh, what is this? It's a sculpture. This remains of some gorilla worshipping civilization or something, or what? And you can see the Bob Brown has always had nice art, and he did Superboy a lot on Superboy, but Murphy Anderson really punches it up, though, because Murphy Anderson goes way back with science fiction art, particularly Buck Rogers and the like, as well as in comic books. And about this time, he is starting his long time run of inking Kurt Swan's Superman, primary penciler and primary inker, as well as shortly we'll be doing the Warlord of Mars, John Carter Warlord of Mars, back up for a short run in Tarzan. So here are that sculpture, and then they go farther into the caves and see torches and a throne and this giant ape statue. And go, what is this? Then suddenly, bam, bam, bam! And it's the poachers that they have captured. One of them had a hidden gun, got it pulled out, and they're trying to shoot their way out. And Superboy then decides to reveal himself, more or less, waylaying the gorillas so the poachers can get away, and goes and toss them out. And said, then hear them yelling, "Yango, Yango, Yango!" Said, "What is that?" And then suddenly he something big and huge and hairy reaches out and yanks that gorilla fur off of his body, and it is a gigantic flying ape. What's more, it speaks. Okay, Yango answers your call, my brothers. Now I will deal with this caped imposter, this human. But he's not speaking any earthly language. He is speaking Kryptonian. And of course, Superboy recognizes that and communicates, and they go head to head. Boom, boom. They're too evenly matched. Whap, with invulnerability and super strength, and even heat vision, zap, zap, zap at each other, both impervious and stalemate. So Superboy gets an idea, tries to talk with him. Yango, hold, you can't best me. And Yango rushes, grabs him, and swings him around and smashes him right through the wall of the cave. Well, he takes off, but it's not out of fear. This was always a device that they used way too much and was silly. He zooms back in time. He witnesses to his own rocket coming to Earth and the other one coming to Africa. So he basically zooms back and watches back to Krypton. Backtracks that rocket to Krypton. There's a scientist, noted anthropologist, who has been working with this young ape, and he is also aware that Krypton is coming to an end, but he wants to preserve his work as, after years of intensive conditioning, cybernetic brain programming I've devoted to you since birth, yada, yada, yada. And so, when Krypton explodes, infant Yango is sent to Earth. So then Superboy zooms back to Earth and his own time, seeing the poachers still getting away. Down to my last shell, he snags the poachers, takes them back to Yango, explains everything, and they keep the poachers caged up. Said just as long as they won't kill the poachers. Says, how do you know I won't kill them? Said, kill the greedy poachers for the same reason that you possess powers equal to mine and haven't chosen to conquer the world. So he leaves them for who knows how long imprisoned by the gorillas who they have wronged, and that's the end of that. Unfortunately, it is really a too short of a story. It's one of my favorite older Superboy stories. I really enjoy it, and to my knowledge, Yango never made another appearance, and if he did, somebody out there let me know, because I've never seen or heard of it. And it seems to me that later he should have popped up at some time, because they have the super intelligent Ape City in there with Solivar and Grodd the gorilla and stuff, and he should have been involved in some of that stuff. So, and that's it for that one. Then we go to the backup story, great George Tuska art. This is some really, really nice looking stuff. And this is called Brotherly Hate. Legion is called, an interplanetary bank was robbed. They got the images, and it's, oh my gosh, it's my brother Mecht, and he is Lightning Lord. He is the brother of Lightning Lad and Light Lass. And oh my gosh, and Light Lass is in a relationship here with Timberwolf. And then Superboy briefly recaps the origin of both Lightning Lad and Company, and the Legion in general. How some monsters when they were trapped on a planet, it zaps them and then gives them electric powers, and how when they are coming to Earth, the millionaire R.J. Brand is on the ship, and someone attacks going to kill him, and they save him, and at his behest they start the Legion of Superheroes. So they and how Light Lass's powers have changed from lightning to lightweight, and so they backtrack follow the trail of the ship of the thief to a planet, and there he is. They confront him, but the brother and sister of Lightning Lord are torn about capturing. Timberwolf goes right in. He going to zap him, and Light Lass gets in the way, and she gets zapped. Fight, and finally Lightning Lad fight. They're stalemated, and through some connivance, he brings his brother down low, captures him, and in the process turns his red hair turns pure white. He's unconscious, and they capture him and take off. And this is the beginning of, and I always liked this story as well, as short as it is. So that is all I've got to share with you this time. And I want to thank you very much for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do leave your comments down below about Superboy, the Legion. I'm not a big Legion fan, but I do like some. Actually, in my opinion, some of the backup stories that I've read are some of the best Legion stories, as opposed to the from the main series of Legion of Superheroes with their own title. So let me know about what you think of either or both of those. What about the apes? Yes, apes were always a big draw on comic covers, so they did it as much as they could. Them and dinosaurs could not come up with some concept to have an ape on the cover. And they came up with some really imaginative and some really silly ones. I like this one. So thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, and do remember, comics are art.